everyone, Ben Strumpf here from Prodport. In this video, we're going to analyze the product page from the brand Cotopaxi. We'll take a look at three things: what they're doing well, the tech stack to get them there, and what they can do better, all with an emphasis on e-commerce conversion rate optimization. We'll focus on one product in particular because when you look at a brand and even across brands, the product page generally has the same look and feel. It's just the content that's changing on a per product basis. Before I jump in, and there's a lot to unpack here, this is probably one of the best product pages we've analyzed at Prodport. Let me just give a quick background on Cotopaxi. They're an outdoor apparel brand. They're built on Shopify, and they're a big Shopify brand. From my research, doing over 100 million in sales a year. Really awesome founder story. They were created by a guy named Davis Smith. He grew up throughout different parts of Latin America and was really touched by just seeing all the unequal access to opportunity. And that's why he built Cotopaxi as a means to dedicate his business endeavors as a force for good in order to address this inequality that he witnessed. And you're going to see when you look at Cotopaxi's brand, you'll see this shop gear for good. And they talk a lot about helping them fight inequality by investing in sustainably minded gear. Let's go ahead and jump right in. First, we're going to take a look at Cotopaxi's product page and identify what are they doing well from an e-commerce conversion rate optimization perspective. We'll start above the fold in the buy box and go all the way below the fold to the very bottom of the page. Let's start with arguably the most important part on the product page, the assets. They're doing an amazing job with their slot one asset. And this is really important. It's the first thing that anyone sees. And the best practice is to use as much real estate as possible and have very little white space. So their product image is quite big, but they're filling up every space they can also by showing the dimensions. So really love this slot one asset, and just their assets in general are quite good. Showing different angles in terms of the pack opened, models and people wearing the pack, and then most importantly, user-generated content. Going on to other parts, I really like the product name area. It's best practice to not use an internal nomenclature, but help people understand what the product is good for. Now, they're not necessarily doing that in their product name, but they insert this sub-name where they're really, giving you a great overview of the product. It's a travel pack. What is it good for? 1 to 2 weeks away. The other thing I really like on the buy box is their merchandising. So they're not just having a drop down with all of the colors, you're seeing a thumbnail. So you can really choose to drill down to a color that interests you. And when you do, you're just seeing assets specific to that color. Awesome to see the fact that the item ships free right by the add to cart button. And then I love this bundle and save. It's best practice in the buy box to try to increase average order value by having an upsell, a cross-sell, having complementary products, but not take the person away from the product page. So what Cotopaxi does is they open it up in a modal, and I can quickly add these accessories to my bag. Close this cart thing. Product guarantee is best practice to have in the buy box. And then I really love their product description. It's best practice to focus on benefits and what the product's good for, not technical features. And they're doing that here, as you can see, but they're using accordions, which is awesome to see because maybe my buyer persona, I want the features and I want the specs. I can easily access them, and it's a lot of information, but it's not overwhelming because I choose to open it in this accordion if I like. So really nice above the fold experience. Let's go below the fold. Another awesome job here. First and foremost, they have a below the fold experience. They're using rich content, but it's always best practice to have a comparison chart. Love their comparison chart here. They're comparing, you can see this pack to other packs that they have. But most importantly, I can see it on a female, and then I can also see it on a male. So really love this comparison chart. Great that they have video. Video is extremely important. And then they have a plethora of upsells, downsells, cross-sells, etc., and then obviously reviews. So really nice product page experience, but there's two other things I want to point out that Cotopaxi is doing really well. First and foremost, they're sending majority of their traffic directly to the product page or to a collection page. So if we look at their Facebook ad library, we can just click on a product here. They're not wasting any time, right? They're sending me to the product page or a collection page where it makes sense. Why is this important? So every page has a bounce rate, and it's generally 50% or higher. So you're going to lose more people the more pages you have before someone gets to a product page. where they are going to hit add to cart and buy. So love to see that they're driving traffic directly to product pages. But then what I like, hands down the best about Cotopaxi, is they're adapting their product page to the customer experience. So not everyone sees the same thing, even though everyone goes to the same actual product URL. Now, Cotopaxi knows me here because I've shopped with them before, so I'm seeing this experience. But let me go incognito. Sometimes you have to fire this a few times. But when I go incognito, in theory, they don't know anything about me. So let me just go to this product page. Yeah, so here we go. So it's the exact same product, the 35-liter travel pack. But because I'm not recognized by them, so I'm technically a new customer to them, I'm getting this above the fold experience. They're easing me into the buy box, into the product, right? They have a hero image. They have this hotspot image built for adventure. They're putting the video of top of the fold. There's a lot of rich content. And then I get down to the buy box. So can't say enough good things about this. I imagine this is, really contributing to a highly converting product page. Now let's take a quick look at what is the tech stack enabling this awesome experience. So this is by no means an exhaustive tech stack. I'm just calling out some of the key areas that I believe are enabling this world-class product page experience. Yes, they're built on Shopify, Klaviyo for email, Attentive for SMS marketing. But the landing page experience I showed you, basically adapting the product page to look like a landing page for a first-time user, believe that's being powered by Dynamic Yield, which is an enterprise-grade testing and personalization engine. They also have Findify for personalized search and recommendations, Privy for pop-ups, email capture, and then, on site, there's a lot of advanced tech stack to personalize and test the experience. And these are data-driven decisions, right? They're not just relying on Google Analytics. They also have mouse flow for heat maps and to see how people are actually performing on the site. So really nice tech stack enabling an awesome experience. Having said that, no experience is perfect, right? And now what I want to cover is just a couple things I think Cotopaxi could do better to increase their already awesome product page. So going above the fold, I was super complimentary on their assets. I think they could do even better, just given the importance of assets on your product page. So in this case, there's only one social proof image showing someone using the pack traveling. I would add way more of these and at a minimum test putting them in these upfront slots. Social proof is king, and I believe it's heavily underutilized on this product page. There's only one image. I would emphasize it in the asset gallery. I'd put it below the fold, so on and so on. I'd also make sure, this is a best-selling pack, that it has video. And then given the price point, it often very much helps if you have some infographics or some type of PR or brand recognition in the actual asset gallery. Not much else I could say above the fold, really nice experience. Below the fold, love this comparison chart. I think they could add another comparison chart comparing Cotopaxi to other brands, which is a best practice. They're competing with Patagonia, North Face, so on and so on. Or at a minimum, the biggest thing I think that's missing below the fold, aside from more social proof, is talking about their brand. Cotopaxi has such an amazing brand, and not everyone buys a product because of the product. They buy a product because of the fundamental brand, the brand behind it, right? So if I was Cotopaxi, I would heavily emphasize my brand story, sustainability, so on below the fold. And like I mentioned, just put a bit more social proof. Those are the only tactical things I would do on the product page, but especially since they have dynamic yield, the biggest area I'd focus on is taking their personalization to the next level, right? This product, it's nice that they have see this on a female, see this on a male. I would adapt the page whether if my CDP is telling me it's a male versus a female, or let's say, someone comes to the site and they're looking at female jackets and then they go to the product page. So let's go back to best-selling packs. I would adapt these images. It's very heavy, showing almost all male models on the asset gallery. I would focus a bit more, yes, put some male models in there, but elevate females since I know it's a female. The other thing you can look at is location and season. So, if I'm in Florida versus Colorado, there's different aspects of this or different scenery I can show based on where you're located, what season it is, so on and so on. The other way I would adapt this product page, again, they're already doing it based on customer journey. I would take that customer journey to the next level. So they have awesome paid media. And I would really look at like this marketing to product gap. How am I hooked? What is my marketing hook that's engaging people? In this case, it's really talking about good gear for good, and this ethically and sustainably, aspects of their brand. It takes me to this homepage. I click on the first product they recommend. And like I said, I would put more of this brand story at a minimum below the fold. But if someone comes from this ad, I would adapt the product page to then have the buy box really talk about my brand and sustainability, so on and so on. So, and that goes elsewhere as well, right? Like if I'm advertising to someone that's interested in travel, definitely put this image in slot 2, talk about they do a good job talking about why it's good for travel, but not as much visually, versus someone who's big into hiking or whatever the case may be. So those are the only things I would do to make Cotopaxi's already world-class product page even better. So had a lot of fun going over Cotopaxi's product page. Like I said in the beginning, one of the best ones we've reviewed. So I hope there was some best practices you could apply from Cotopaxi to your business. And thanks very much for joining us. Take care.